Mr. B.
Yerrr, it's the Social Millennial Podcast. We out here, gang. What up, y'all? I hope y'all had a great week. We've had some decent weather here in NYC. It's been all right. Kind of still trying to make up its mind. We're in the spring. You know, it's what? May showers bring April showers bring May flowers type of deal. We've been getting up down weather, really warm days. We had a few 70 degree days, 69 degree days, and then a whole bunch of rain. What up, y'all? Again, thank y'all for pulling up. If this is your first time, for those watching, we have an audio component to this, so you don't always have to wait for the visual. I know you like to look at my fine, handsome mug, but you can head on over there if you maybe don't want to wait to have some time to sit down and watch the podcast. We are on all platforms that serve podcasts, if I'm not mistaken, every single one. Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, Pandora, Spotify. Just look up at Social Millennial Pod and you will find us. Please head on over there, follow, listen, heart, thumbs up, whatever applies there to give us some interaction, give us some feedback on how you like this project. Definitely go over there and do that. For those of y'all who are listening, there is a visual component. I'm looking at y'all right now on YouTube. What up? How y'all doing? Head on over there, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so that you know that the episode is up. I tend to upload it early and set it as a premiere so you can get that notification and be ready for it. So like I said, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, give us a like on the video, give us a comment. I do ask questions during and wherever applicable that you decide or that you enjoy partaking of this content. Absolutely give us that feedback. And for those who might be a little bit old school and want to maybe listen to the podcast or interact with this show via your web browser, you absolutely can. There will be a link in the description. It will be labeled homepage. It'll probably be homepage and a link under, or it will be tappable or clickable, the word homepage itself, depending on whatever platform that you're listening to this on. And it'll take you straight to a web page, a web browser landing page that has a list of all of the episodes. You can listen to them there. There are links to the social medias there too. So, kind of one-stop shop. If you want to head on over to our socials, that brings us right in. Talk about segue. But, yeah, hit up our socials, y'all. We're on Facebook. We're on IG. For those who don't know, Instagram. We are on TikTok. Show that some love over there. We don't post as often, but definitely show us love on all of our socials. IG, we're active. All right. That's basically our meme dump. Maybe we throw some clips on there once in a while, but definitely interact with that. Follow us everywhere. You are very welcome. This is an inclusive community, y'all. Absolutely pull up. Thank y'all so much for coming. Thank y'all so much for lasting this long. You feel me? We got some stuff to get into, some stuff to hash out. For those of y'all who are new, once again, this is Social Millennial Podcast, just a little kickback, general podcast, just general sort of me talking to this microphone, talking to y'all, connecting with the people, just basically about things that I liked this week, things that happened this week, things that interested me this week. Sometimes it's big old current event things. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's really obscure science things and science discoveries. Sometimes it's pop culture things. Sometimes it's government stuff. Sometimes it is sports. We talk sports, but this is what it is. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. The links to everything that I'm going to talk about in this podcast, as always, will be in the description of whatever platform that you're listening or watching this on. Yeah, we've got merch as well. If y'all want to support, cop you a shirt, cop you a baby onesie, cop you a throw pillow, cop you a pencil, cop you a mug. You feel me? A travel cozy. We've got all kinds of things with the logo on it. Absolutely. Head on over there. Link in the description. Again, it'll either be tappable. It'll just say merch exclamation mark, or it'll be right under there as a long link. Head on over there. Thank y'all so much for supporting so far. Thank y'all so much for being here, sticking around, my day ones for this project. So much more is coming down the pike. If y'all want to support more than just giving us a like, giving us a thumbs up, giving us a comment, giving us a star rating or a review, and subscribing and following, you can head on over to our Patreon. The link is going to be in the description. We do drop another episode, so you see the numberings on these episodes are staggered now. They're not one after the other because we're hosting a whole new fresh episode over on Patreon. All right, over there, because we're behind a little paywall, I'm able to kind of get a little raunchier, maybe a little bit loosey goosey with the subject matter, maybe a little loosey goosey with my language. You can head on over there. I've got 2 membership tiers. One is the supporter tier. If you are really not interested in the bonus episode, but you still want to support what this dude is doing from the BX, you feel me? We out here, gang. Then just tap in on that membership. All right, supporter membership. It's just dropping a few coins. You feel me? A few coins in the coin cup. That's all it is. Then our next tier, where you get the bonus episode, audio and hopefully video. I'm still having some issues with the video, but audio is called the We Here tier because we here. You feel me? Pull up there for the bonus episode. I will be hosting a lot more content on Patreon, a lot more paid content. So it would be in your best interest to become a member or simply follow the Patreon page, and you'll get the notifications about certain things going on. And maybe in the future you might want to think about jumping onto a membership tier because there will be more are on the way, offering a lot of different kinds of content. And again, I would never be charging you guys any kind of crazy amount unless I'm giving you a whole lot. You feel me? So this is sub Netflix, sub Amazon Prime prices. I mean, I'm charging less. I mean dollars. All right, y'all. So head on over there if you feel like you want to support a little bit more than just giving us a like, giving us a follow. But definitely give us a like and a follow. If that's all that you can give, that is okay. We enjoy that. Thank y'all so much. We really just want to connect with the people. All right, y'all. So let's get into it. I had a good week. I cannot complain, as a mentor of mine says, as is his adage. I cannot complain. I'm still here, still hustling, still moving, still working, still shaking, still thinking. Just still doing the damn thing. You feel me? I cannot complain. I'm blessed, too blessed to be stressed. You feel me? Got a lot of things going on. A lot of developments. Oh my gosh, this tea is great. A lot of developments. A lot of transitions, a lot of changes. And I'm kind of a person, if I can get a little personal with y'all, if I can get a little personal with you, I'm kind of a risk-averse type of a person, and it is moving mountains for me to accept risk, personally. But I have absolutely been taking concerted efforts to simply dive into things because my risk aversion sort of kicks in when I start to think about stuff, when I start to sort of let options and decisions ruminate in my mind. Is when I become more and more against it, even though it may be something good for me. It might represent an opportunity. It might represent, money. It might represent an opportunity for success in a new field or in a new area, or to really like add to my resume or what have you. The more that I ruminate on something or on a decision that I have to make, is the more likely that I'm going to say no, even though it's probably fire, and even though I'm capable of dealing with whatever risk comes. It's not necessarily that I'm not thick-skinned. It's just more so that I don't necessarily like to lose, and I kind of want to know if I'm going to win or I'm going to lose at something before I engage with it. Now that's wild. That's a little bit on some other side, but I'm absolutely I have been over a while taking concerted efforts to really circumvent that modus operandi, that kind of thinking. It absolutely hinders more than it helps. But yeah. So great new opportunities that I'm just sort of saying yes on, just looking at it. It looks nice. It looks great. Don't think about it too deeply. don't dwell on it too deeply and just run with it. And that's what I've been doing. And I'm pretty glad for it. I still sort of go through these phases of existential dread, maybe, because I'm running through with, not with reckless abandon, but just more so deciding to not think or do the things that I had done before, not follow the same sort of thought algorithms that I had followed before. So within not doing that, I second guess. My mind just immediately second guesses the things that I've been doing over a long period of time. But I rise above. Amen. Will refuse to allow myself to be bound by my own sort of by my reliance on my own machinations that are very limited, because I don't have all the information in the world. I don't have future information. So as much as I can kind of take the information that I have, process that, and come out with possible outcomes, they're all just possible outcomes. They're never, nothing is guaranteed to be successful. Nothing is guaranteed to be unsuccessful. And so I'm absolutely rising above these older algorithms that I can get myself trapped into, or that I can allow myself to run down very, very easily. So yeah, that's my thing personally, what I've been going through, what I've been trying to deal with, and just creating. I've got stuff that I'm developing. For those of y'all who don't know me, I'm Marcuspena. I am a musician. I am a singer-songwriter. I am just kind of an all-around creative in the arts. It's like whatever I get my hands on, I kind of just do as an outlet. And I'm very happy about it. I'm very glad for it. I'm very glad that I'm the kind of person that I am. I am a musical director. I'm an actor. I said that already, singer-songwriter and producer, writer. And yeah, just everything in the arts, man. I like drawing. I'm not that great at painting. I'm more into hand drawing things. But I do want to get into painting. I'm gonna do a little bit of graphic design. You know, a lot of aesthetic things that I really like to get into. That's who I am. And so I've got a bunch of plans for this year, a bunch of goals that I want to make sure that I hit, because last year I hit my goals and it didn't necessarily shock me. Like I know that I'm capable, but it's more so the follow through. Like I said, the more that I sit down and think about things that I want to do, or think about things that are on the horizon, or think about decisions that I make or have in front of me to make, I tend to recoil, you know, the longer that I sort of ruminate with them. And I'm very glad sitting here now that 2023, I succeeded at the goals that I set out for myself. Whether big or small, whether anyone considers them huge or anyone considers them insignificant, it's huge for me personally. And so I've got some goals for myself creatively this year that I'm really hyped. I really want to succeed at them, want to meet them, and want to absolutely take you guys on that journey as well. Hence, Patreon being a nice little avenue to be able to give you guys behind the scenes, give you guys some early access to some of the things that I'm creating, give you guys first dibs on stuff that I'm creating, and not just like video content, but my music. I want to release 2 EPs this year if I can. That's really what I want to do. And I will absolutely be offering them up on the Patreon, straight up downloads for the higher tiers at that point when the time comes. You know, I will be offering merch packages, everything. I'm looking to do a whole rollout like that. But if y'all want to also we all want to see what I do musically. Y'all want to see what I do outside of this show, outside of the podcast, outside of Marcus Pena Media Group. Head on over to Marcus Pena on Facebook. I have an artist page over there. You will see me there. Follow and enjoy what's over there. Enjoy sort of tagging along with me on my journey as I do life and art and love and laughter, etc. And you can also head on over to Marcus Pena on Instagram. Go over there, follow me there. All right, y'all. Anything you find, share it. Share it. Spread the love. Anyway, enough about me. Let's get into the stories. So, what am I going to hit first? I think I want to go light first. I think we're going to ease it in. Let's hit. I was going to talk about Eric Adams off rip. That's not what we're going to do. Let me get this. There we go. Ooh, yes, this is a good one. Nice little sciencey animal wildlife thing. For those who are listening, I have some tea in my hand that I've been swigging on, just to keep my voice nice and my throat nice and even, because I've had to do a lot of talking today. There we go. Creaky chair. All right, y'all. So, according to Good News Network, in world first, scientists share what was almost certainly a conversation with a humpback whale. Excuse me. In a world first, marine biologists were able to have a discourse with a humpback whale, pushing out the boundaries of cooperation and understanding that could be possible between our two species. An adult female humpback whale, known as Twain in Southeast Alaska, was located along with a group of whales and called with a recording of another humpback's whoopthrup, they quote that, call. The recording was made by whales of the same group the day before, but the team didn't know if the calls recorded were made by the same whale or were part of an exchange between two or more whales. To find out, the researchers conducted the trial on 2 days, with the first to find out if the whoop calls they had recorded would be socially acceptable. It turned out that whatever the whale or whales had been saying the day before was appropriate as far as Twain was concerned. And after the team broadcast the playback, she drifted away from her group and participated both physically and acoustically in 3 phases of interaction with the crew and their boat, including periods of engagement, agitation, and disengagement. First, she called back. Then, she circled the boat 3 times, surfaced, and dived again. After this interaction, she gradually left. Twain's whoop calls on day 2 and the whoop calls recorded on day 1 were acoustically analyzed for both spectral and temporal features, specifically the intercall interval or latency between calls, as measured by the time difference between the preceding call's offset and the subsequent call's onset. The scientists determined that this metric would be able to determine both arousal and valence, thereby allowing them to get some idea of the emotional content of the exchange. The results indicated that substantial variation was found among the latencies in Twain's calling behavior, which they took to mean excitement or arousal. Twain's calls were significantly shorter during engagement than either during the period defined as agitation, when she was circling the boat, ejecting air through her blowhole, or as she was leaving. The BBC reports that the songs of the humpback whale are thought to be among the most complex in the animal kingdom. A strong point of the whole experiment was that the results were determined with a degree of blinding via independent, uninformed observers reporting on surface behavior and respiratory activity of the interacting whale. So my question to y'all, if there was an animal that y'all that you wanted to talk to, like you wanted to hear what their story was or what their deal was, what animal would that be and why? Let me know in the comments. Let me know where applicable. What do y'all think? Because I feel like that would be pretty cool. Being able to eventually understand what animals are trying to tell us, like how they communicate, in what ways they communicate, which animals use a language that is that has like words, that has developed words that we just don't understand, would be a really cool discovery. As opposed to animals or organisms that simply use sort of body language to convey. You know, there are grunts, there are body language things that they all know as a shorthand to convey what they mean to convey. It would be interesting to see, like, if monkeys and other apes, if apes have a language and we just don't really understand. if humpback whales have a language, because they can't really do body language underwater. Their bodies don't allow them to. Their physiology doesn't allow them to do body language things. So it of all of the animals of the animal kingdom, I would think that the humpback whales probably have a language that when they make their sounds mean something specific. And considering that their calls are very complex to each other, the sounds that they make are very complex groupings of sounds, groupings of different sounds together that they can make. That would be really interesting, right? That'd be wild if the first animals that we make contact with in a very meaningful way, like understanding way, would be humpback whales. And then I wonder what they would tell us. I wonder what mysteries or secrets they could unveil about what life actually is in the seas. Excuse me. What life actually means in the seven seas, like how the different strata of animals interact with each other. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Like could whales, or do the different species of animals in the ocean, can they communicate with each other? Like cross species? Like, do they know what each other are saying cross species? Is it like us where like, oh, I can learn Portuguese and understand it and maybe not speak it that well, but I can understand it better than I speak it type of a deal? That'd be really interesting. What do y'all think about it? Let me know. Let's head to the next one. Let me X that out. Okay. City operations. We're going to talk about Eric Adams, but in sort of an indirect/direct way. Now, Eric Adams has been going through it. We do not like Eric Adams here in NYC. For those of y'all who are listening that are not here in NYC, Eric Adams is the mayor of NYC, and we do not like him. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a New Yorker that thinks that Eric Adams is doing a good job, because he's worse, and I would categorize him as worse than Mayor de Blasio. And de Blasio was worse, was universally hated. Yeah. So, this dude's been all kinds of shady, up, down, left, right, no bid contracts to XYZ companies to do XYZ things, like security for the migrants, like just him allowing the migrants to come in unfettered, and then with no sort of task force created to create a structure for their intake at all. To this day, there's nothing set up officially. And then turning around and wanting to beg the government for more money, when it's like, well, why did you keep accepting the buses when you don't have the resources? What's the point of this? Why didn't you just send them back? The federal government's not giving us money. But yeah, just a lot of really trash decisions from the top that affect everyday New Yorkers. So we don't really like him. Now, it is also a thing where his administration, within his administration, there seems to be some shadiness happening. We don't know yet, but his administration is under multiple investigations ongoing. Some having to do with campaign funding and kickbacks from the Turkish government. Some having to do with individual top members of his cabinet taking kickbacks. So right now he's going through multiple federal investigations, FBI investigations, which is wild. He's going strong, but those are happening behind the scenes. They have not concluded yet. Now those factoids bring us to this story here. City Operations Commissioner, this is according to the city.nyc. A city operations commissioner resigns in latest Adams departure. Dawn Pinnock announces she's leaving the Department of Citywide Administrative Services, an agency with vast power over city real estate and hiring. The head of the agency that manages the city's massive purchasing and real estate holdings announced her resignation to staff Tuesday, yet another top official in Mayor Eric Adams' administration to leave before he finishes his first term at City Hall. Dawn Pinnock, Commissioner of the Department of Citywide Administrative Services, DCAS, sent an email to staff midday revealing that she planned to leave the job at the end of June, the city has learned. She is among a select group of top Adams' team members who've left city government in the last year, including his police commissioner, his general counsel, his housing czar, and the head of the buildings department. In her email to staff, Pinnock wrote she, quote, will be departing city government at the end of June, unquote, to accept a position, quote, in the nonprofit profit sector. I want to say profit sector. She did not identify her new employer. Quote, this decision was not made lightly, and after careful reflection, I believe it is the right choice for my family and my future, she wrote. Quote, I know a departing commissioner can spark uncertainty and even at times anxiety. Please know that I have full confidence in our senior leaders at this agency to support this transition and lend their expertise to ensure continuity among the lines of service, unquote. Pinnock's sudden announcement made no mention of a successor, but one top contender is likely Jesse Hamilton, a former Brooklyn state senator who heads the DCAS real estate unit and is a longtime Adams ally. Jesse Hamilton? Oh, no, I don't care about that. State Senate when Adams became Brooklyn. Yeah, I don't care about that. Was promoted woman. I don't care about that. DCAS was one of the most powerful. Right. DCAS is one of the most powerful but least public agencies in municipal government. With a $2 billion estimated budget for fiscal 2025, it purchases over $1 billion in goods and services for the city annually, manages the city's fleet of vehicles, recruits city hires and purchases, and sells and leases out city-owned properties, while also leasing space from private landlords. Whoa. Wow. Pinnock has helmed the agency since Adams promoted her from the DCAS executive deputy commissioner position she held under Mayor de Blasio to the top spot as DCAS commissioner in January 2022 at the start of his tenure at City Hall. That meant that Pinnock worked at the top level of the agency in 2020 when the city spent billions of dollars on medical equipment and personal protective equipment at the start of COVID-19 pandemic. And she was commissioner when DCAS last year wound up selling millions of dollars of the equipment for pennies on the dollar, as revealed by the city. Whoa. Pinnock's resignation is just the latest in a series of top officials exiting City Hall before Adams wraps up his first term in office. In September, Adams' chief of staff, Frank Carone, informed the mayor he'd be leaving by the end of that year. 2 months later, First Deputy Mayor Lorraine Grillo announced she too would be leaving by year's end. That same month, Buildings Commissioner Eric Ulrich stepped down after reports surfaced he was the subject of an ongoing corruption investigation. In September, he was indicted by Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg in a broad-ranging scheme to pocket bribes in exchange for doing favors for a real estate developer, a tow truck company, and others. And we get into some deep stuff here. I mean, in May 2023, Adams' housing czar, Jessica Katz, announced she would be leaving by that summer, and his general counsel, Brendan McGuire, revealed he planned to leave the administration by year's end. McGuire returned to the private sector and is now representing Adams in an ongoing federal investigation of the mayor's 2021 fundraising activities. A month later, NYPD Commissioner Keechant Sewell resigned following reports that she was being undermined by longtime Adams' pal, Deputy Mayor for Criminal Justice, Philip Banks III. Y'all. First of all, if there's anybody listening that's a New Yorker that likes Eric Adams and the way he's doing things, please let us know in the comments. Please let us know what you think. Why do y'all think that he's doing a good job? What has y'all believing in this man, like believing in his capability to run New York City? I'm interested to hear from people who side with Eric Adams. Absolutely. Because nigga, I'll be having trouble looking. I have a little, y'all can't see it, but I have like a little circle right here by the camera. That's like part of the stand. And I like my eye line wants to go to that. instead of y'all. So if my eyes look a little funky, it's because I'm like making sure that I'm looking at y'all. But yeah, because I'm kind of comfortable right now. Like I'm not on, I don't necessarily feel like I'm on set. I kind of want to, you know, I'm real chill right now. So there's points where I'm like right there. It's a circle thing with patterns and stuff on it. It's very interesting to look at. But yeah, if whoever does side with Eric Adams and thinks that this dude is on point, please, I want to hear from y'all. I want to hear about why y'all think that, because this dude is on some, I mean, at the very least, something's happening. Something shady is going on. I would not be surprised if people are jumping ship before the results of the various investigations that are underway of the Adams administration, before they resolve themselves. I can see them just, I'm out, deuces, see you. So maybe they won't get indicted or prosecuted. Because that's a lot of people to just be like, oh, I'm up, I'm out, deuces, I'm out, deuces, I'm out. Like exiting government. That's wild. Exiting working in the government completely. Not coming, oh, I'm going to be taking this other role in the administration. No. Deuces, I'm gone. I'm not doing this no more. People, too many. It's an unsettling amount. Maybe one or two, you know what I'm saying? That give a reason for why they leave. I got picked up by CNN. I got picked up by so-and-so. So I'm going to be leaving to go over there. The next time you'll see me, I will be over there on the world stage. Something like that. Some type of step up job. But they're not saying anything. They're just resigning. Resigning, y'all. Corruption. I'm telling you, it's going to hit the fan. I don't wish jail or prosecution on anybody. That's a rough thing for the mind to go through. It's just dog. What else could it be? They've been investigating, and multiple investigations open on multiple people in his administration, and then you have 4, 5, 6 people in high-ranking positions, top shelf, top tier, A-level management, upper management positions, saying deuces, I'm out, resigning. Let me know what y'all think, because I think it's some kind of widespread corruption. I think it's so much corruption that it touches all of these different parts of the administration. From COVID, like they brought up in this article, like possible ethics problems probably with COVID spending, possible pocket lining having to do with the no bid contracts that Eric Adams seems to just dole out, not really caring about how much money they fork over from the government, because you do bidding to see who will do the job the cheapest, because you want to be able to retain some of your city's funding to do other things. But somehow we took a whole bunch of funding from all of our public services to use for the migrants, and then also do no bid contracts where it had already been found out. I think we talked about it 3 or 4 episodes ago. It had already been found out by an independent audit that, I mean, the city probably could have saved $20, $30, $40 million on doing a bid for the security for the migrants and where they were being held for the security company. But instead, he did a no bid contract for an exorbitant amount. I forgot, it was like 2-3 companies, and it's like, we don't have money. Like, the city is now strapped for cash, and then you want to go to the federal government and go, oh, we're in a crisis. Like, the money's not being spent properly. It's not being spent the way that it should be. And the citizens of New Yorkers are paying the price, even though Eric Adams took an oath. Very interesting. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that. I really do think all of this smells of corruption. I don't think Eric Adams should have ever won that election. I don't know who. Let me not say I don't know who. Eric Adams ran on the Democratic ticket, so I mean, it's no surprise that he got voted in. I don't know how much better of a job Curtis Sliwa would have done, but I mean, I was willing to have someone different be in office. Have someone, I think he was Republican, not necessarily independent, but just to see a different perspective as the face of New York City. But we're here. So hopefully, those of y'all under the sound of my voice, if y'all do vote in the mayoral elections, maybe y'all will vote a little more discerningly. Vote on the policies. Not just like on your feelings. Yeah. All right, we're moving on. Last story of this episode. Last one. Spoiler alert. Let's X this out. Disney Plus is about to change. Okay. Let me take a drink and then I'm gonna go in. Listen, y'all. When streaming first came out, it was kind of cool. Netflix was doing its thing. Big dog. It went through this whole era of whether or not Netflix was going to continue going because it was losing so much money. It was it just bleeds money. And it's probably still losing money, but it seems to have become profitable over time. Stock prices are really solid. Now, streaming was supposed to help us get away from commercialized television. We didn't want to do television anymore. We didn't want to do cable. We didn't want to do network television. We didn't want to have to deal with the advertisements. We didn't want to have to deal with all of the myriad of different packages because, you know, the competition for cable TV is a thing. So, different media houses, different media companies, they're going to align with different cable providers to offer competitive packages. We got tired as a people of all of that. So in came Netflix, streaming services, VOD, to help us with that, to feed us. You know, we want uncommercialized. We want HBO. We want a platform where it's just a premium platform, like HBO and Showtime and Cinemax and Stars and all these other places where we can just watch movies, watch shows without ads in between, without ad breaks, and be able to watch them at the pace that we want to. Maybe we don't want to have to wait every single week for a new episode. Maybe we want to just watch everything in one day. We have the ability to do that with streaming. You know, in-game streaming to solve these problems for the consumer. And then when the others got their hats in the ring, think Amazon threw their hat in the streaming ring, Disney threw their hat in the streaming ring, HBO, or Warner, let me say that, Warner Brothers, Time Warner, Discovery now, Warner Discovery, threw their hat into the ring of streaming services. Hulu, which I think is Disney. It wasn't originally, but it is Disney because Disney owns controlling shares of the stocks of that. But yeah, Hulu, you get that thrown in, and a bunch of other smaller ones. But the big dogs throw their hats in the ring, right? And continually operate at a loss. Amazon Prime is not doing too poorly, but Disney absolutely. I mean, they're bleeding money, like open wound. Millions and millions of billions of dollars bleeding, and wanted to hang their streaming service on the Marvel and Star Wars intellectual properties, IPs. And that worked and didn't work to greater or lesser effect. And year over year, they've been losing. I mean, it's billions of dollars. And because of these losses, one, because of the losses, and two, because of sort of the corporate culture, maybe it's a rugged American individualism, maybe it's late stage capitalism or whatever, or the evils of capitalism and greed and corporate greed. Because there's no real investment or real like normalcy of losses, you know, like, okay, the market's going to ebb, it's going to flow, consumers are going to come, they're going to go. So we're not going to have forever growth realistically in the real world. But to corporate and to investors, no, we need to have growth over growth over growth every single year for forever ad nauseum, or else I'm going to yuck. Or else I'm going to send my, I hit the mic, or else I'm going to send my investor dollars elsewhere. Because of that, we're getting streaming, a lot of the platforms are starting to evolve into cable TV. Like it's come all the way 360. Instead of 180 being the opposite of cable TV, it's now inched its way back to, because for the companies who are not succeeding in the streaming sphere and are losing money, they've got to find a way to gain money. And it can't just be subscriber based, because enough people can subscribe to enough things that they're not going to subscribe anymore. Like, you're not going to have new subscribers, because the vast population are subscribed to multiple platforms. Netflix for this, go to Disney Plus for that, go to Amazon Prime for that, etc. So what has to happen? They've got to find ways to make money. And how are they going to make money? Through ad revenue. How does network television make money? How does the networks make money? Ad revenue. How does HBO make money, etc., 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 etc.? The contracts that they have with the cable companies. Ad revenue, advertising. So now we're coming back to the advertising model, the old school, slowly but surely coming back to the old school advertising model, where the content is the commercial for the advertisement. The advertisement is the main attraction. The whole point of you coming to our platform, the whole point of you turning on network television is for you to watch the advertisement. It's not the content. For those who didn't know, that's really what it is in entertainment. It's not the content, it's the advertisements that are making the money. And so when we talk about network television, when we talk about Nielsen ratings, we talk about ratings on networks, on television, cable and cable TV and network television, the idea is that if we can get the most people's eyes on a certain show and they love that show, we're getting the most people's eyes on the advertisements that are running on those shows. So the higher the show's rating is, the higher the eyes, think primetime, the higher the amount of eyes or households that are tuned in, the more expensive the space that they allow for the advertisements become. And so companies will pay, think big wigs, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Samsung, big companies, Target. They'll pay out the premium amounts at those times of day for those shows to have their products shown there, to have their company shown there to the most amount of eyes. And that's how the network makes its money, to pay all of its staff, to pay the actors, to give for the show, and to commission the show, and to have the budget for it. That's how that works. So it seems like streaming is starting to slowly but surely get back to that, as these companies seem to be bleeding money through streaming service and providing the streaming service and the infrastructure and so on, and the costs allotted with that. We're getting back to, this is a free platform, but you have to watch the ads. You can't skip them, unskippable ads. Or like Amazon, I think, who is still under a lawsuit right now, they recently, like last month, started commercializing Amazon Prime Video. And you can't always skip them. They started commercializing for people who have been subscribed to Amazon Prime for a long time. Instead of creating a premium, instead of putting all of your existing members on a premium tier where they can continue to get their uninterrupted Prime Video service, and then offer, like Tubi and Peacock, offer the lesser, cheaper Amazon Prime Video subscriptions that then give you, advertisements, paid advertisements. They just put everybody wholesale. If you've been paying for Amazon Prime for years, month over month, and you were supposed to have been getting your Amazon Prime Video bundled together with your Amazon Prime delivery charges and so on, and you're supposed to get uncommercialized stuff, that's done. That's over. I've got Amazon Prime. That's over. They give you advertisements. In the beginning of your content, they give you advertisements. They haven't started putting it in the middle of the content like network television and cable TV, but like I said, we're on our way there. So that sets the table for the story that I'm gonna share with y'all. Excuse me. According to the New York Post, Disney to overhaul its money-losing Disney Plus streaming service with new TV channels. Disney reportedly plans to overhaul its money-losing Disney Plus streaming service by adding standalone channels that feature ads. The so-called, quote, FAST channels, which stands for free ad-supported streaming television, offered by apps like Pluto and Tubi, would tap hit shows from its vast library to create a 24-hour, quote, Simpsons option and major franchises such as Marvel and Star Wars, according to the information. The company pursued a similar course of action within its ABC.com app when it added a channel dedicated to its, quote, 2020 news magazine show and another channel devoted to the soap opera General Hospital. Disney wants Disney Plus users to remain on the platform instead of clicking over to other streaming platforms, a pivot away from its former strategy of getting as many users to sign up so they can watch ad-free content. In 2022, Netflix explored a similar option that would have created a store within its app so that users could subscribe to other streaming services, a feature that is used on Amazon's Prime Video. Netflix executives toyed with the idea that a similar option would keep users within the Netflix app, but the company has not moved forward with implementing the strategy, according to the information. Disney CEO Bob Iger introduced Disney Plus in 2019, just before he retired as the company's chief executive, and handed the reins over to his handpicked successor, Bob Chapek. During the height of the coronavirus pandemic, when Disney fans could not visit theme parks and were stuck inside at home, Disney Plus surged thanks to its 8,000 hours of content that included hit films, TV shows, and other features. Disney doubled down on streaming, spending billions on expanding the service. But the introduction of the COVID vaccine, the lifting of lockdowns, the intense competition in streaming, and inflation, which has forced consumers to carefully monitor their spending, had users fleeing the service. Yeah, I was a very early adopter of Disney Plus because I needed my Marvel, I needed my Star Wars, and I could finally find a place where I could enjoy my Disney shows from when I was a kid, like Even Stevens, great show to this day. But they would continue to elevate their prices. And there was a point where I was like, the service is costing too much. The cost does not substantiate the service's existence for me. And it wasn't even too much of a budgetary thing. It was more so on principle. It's like, I'm not spending that much money per year to get Disney stuff, to get Marvel stuff, to get Star Wars stuff, especially when at that point their stuff was dipping in quality anyway. I'm not going to spend that much money for that. That doesn't make sense to me. I can find alternatives. So yeah, people really did jump ship. But yeah, so they dropped billions on this. Since 2019, right? Since it's launched in 2019, Disney Plus operating losses have totaled more than $11.4 billion. The company expects it to turn a profit for the first time later this year. The decline of Disney Plus pushed the company's stock down significantly and resulted in Chapek's overthrow. Iger returned to helm the company, though he was forced by shareholders to implement steep, cost-cutting measures that included layoffs as well as culling some of the streaming service's expensive library. Wow. So, let's put that over there. So, are y'all going to keep paying for streaming? Let me know what y'all think. Because pirating is looking real good. It's looking real good. And I know streaming, I know that a piece of the underlying agenda behind streaming is to make it that you get your content from these platforms and that you don't buy physical media. It was 2 months ago that Best Buy killed their physical media So you can't buy CDs, Blu-rays, I don't think. No. Yeah, CDs, Blu-rays, DVDs in their stores. You have to order them. There is an undercurrent of phasing out physical media. Essentially taking the ownership away from the consumer. And it's kind of trash because when you have certain shows that are on a certain platform and they're only on that platform exclusively, you can't find them anywhere. You can't anything. When the licensing runs out, or they don't reach an agreement, or the service itself just takes it down just to create demand, you lose that content. You don't own any of it because you're paying for access to what the service provides. And if they don't provide that at that moment, they don't care how you feel. It's just not being provided. We don't want to give it to you. Enjoy everything else that we're serving to you because you're paying for us to serve you. Make sure to continue to invest in physical media, y'all. So physical media continues to be profitable because I'm sort in a way, I'm glad that streaming is, a lot of these companies are operating at a loss with streaming services, like trying to make it a thing, trying to make it work. And I'm hoping that they continue to operate at a loss and they don't turn much profit, so that they can continue to invest in physical media, and physical merchandising, etc. So that when you buy a Spider-Man movie, you own it. Not let me buy a digital copy that I can't download to my hard drives. They're not giving me a digital MP4. They're not giving me a digital WMV of the movie, like an AVI H.264. They're not giving that to you. They're giving you a token to access the movie. So then if they want to repeal certain kinds of content or purge it, that gets pulled from your downloads, even though it's called downloads. And it's like, then why did I purchase this? Why do I invest in this program? So yeah, y'all, invest in your physical media. Get them Blu-rays, get them HD Blu-rays, get them 4K Blu-rays. Okay. Those UHD Blu-rays and CDs and vinyls, etc. Because it's gonna get wild. It's gonna get wild. You're gonna be paying a monthly charge for Disney Plus to watch the same commercials that you would watch on network television. You know, I'm already paying Amazon Prime to see advertisements between my episodes of Fallout. You know, between my episodes of Reacher, and some of them I can't even skip. It's like, why am I paying for this? Why am I giving you money if you're going to make money on the ad revenue? At least Disney is doing what Tubi and Peacock do, where it's a free ad supported type of a deal. So you can jump on these other channels and enjoy your stuff 24/7, binge them, do whatever you want, but they're going to be commercialized, or they're going to have ads before and ads after, or ads during. At least it's a free service, and we know that they're getting their monies from us watching the ads. You know, it's not like Amazon Prime where they're making you pay for it, with hence the lawsuit pending against Amazon. But anyway, what do you all think? Talk to me. Talk to me in the comments. Talk to me where applicable. What do y'all think about this? Are all of y'all still rocking with VHSs and DVDs and Blu-rays, etc.? Y'all still pulling out The Lion King on VHS? Let me know in the comments. All right, y'all. So we had us a jolly old time. We here with it. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. For those of you who have made it this far, thank you. Y'all are the real OGs. Y'all are the real G's. Y'all are the real day ones. Thank y'all so much for making it this far in the show. I hope that you have a great week. A lot is going on in the world. Do not be discouraged. I know it's easier said than done, but you're here, you're walking, you're scooting, you know, you're talking, you're breathing, you're alive. Every day is a blessing. All right, y'all. So have a good week. Keep winning. And if you ain't winning, you're going to win. All right, y'all. Deuces.